What happened Sunday?
So basically on Sunday, my friend called me. He says, there's a protest going on for the Israeli consulate. I've been to so many before. This was not my first time. I said, I'm there, man. I come. I called him before. I say, how many Jews are there? How many on the Israeli side? He says 0. I say, he's probably exaggerating. His name's Aaron. And so I come there. Literally, there are 0 Jews. I have this huge Israeli flag, and his IDF T-shirt, tzitzit, kippah, of course, and my small Israeli flag is kind of sticking out of my pocket. Just had another one. So I come. As soon as I come, they see me. I'm very noticeable. They start coming after me and following me basically. What happens is that at one point, they literally start pulling at my flag and yelling, pull that flag down, and yelling murder or whatever. At this point, police run, like literally run from across the street and make sort of like a circle around me and push everybody away, make sure I'm safe. This is when I sort of got the attention of the Channel 4 and DemoCast, and I was actually getting filmed. That's where the video, I guess, starts. What happened after that, I talked to the police. The police are like, all right, this is a protest. It's on public grounds. They can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. I said, okay, I'm going across the street. And they said, okay, wait a second. Let us escort you across the street. I say, that's good with me. So I go. I'm ready to go across the street. The Arabs, they were pretty much 90% Arab from what I saw. They were all wearing like kafayas, and also like the women were wearing the Muslim head covering. So what happens is that basically I go across the street, followed by many police officers, 6 or 7 police officers with a bunch of these protesters, and they were all anti-Israel. I was the only pro-Israel supporter. They were all following me. I go across the street. Once I get there, basically before that there were only 20, 30, maybe maximum 40 people in front of this alley. The police want me to be separated, so they put me next to this alley. They line up 10 police officers in front of me. That's how many I needed. 10 police officers. They make a wall, a scrimmage line in front of me, and about 100, probably more than 100 Arabs form like a little mob in front of me. They were yelling from the beginning. They were yelling Allahu Akbar. They were yelling murder. Israel is finished. Things like free Palestine. All their little phrases, all their little worn-out phrases. I mean, some people were like literally trying to attack me. There was this one lady, you see in the video, she was like jumping up and down, going crazy over it. And it was basically when I went across the street, that was what got on NBC4. That was why I got on that, it was important. Because afterwards, about 3 other pro-Israel supporters came from the other side of the street. They just held the flag, maybe said a couple of things. It was nice to have them there. We were still obviously very small, just 3 against many hundreds. But, at least they came and gave their support. I was there just to wave the flag, just to show that I support Israel, that I stand with Israel, that I'm not just gonna, if they're gonna be in the street, in front of cars driving by, in front of everyone, chanting their phrases, free Palestine, waving their terrorist PLO flags, because there is no, I don't believe in any term Palestinian. I don't believe that this is such a term. These are Arabs. There's no such nation of Palestine, no country of Palestine. This is Israel, Eretz Israel. It's always been Eretz Israel since the time of Abraham. They can call themselves whatever they want, but they are not Palestinians. They are Arabs. They are whatever they want to call themselves, but Palestine does not exist. All right?
What about the West Bank and Gaza? What are they?
The West Bank and Gaza is no doubt Eretz Israel. Right now,
what does that mean in English?
Land of Israel. Right. Judea and Samaria is Jews and Arabs. Gaza is 100% Arab. There's not a single Jew living there. Gaza is not our focus right now. Right now we're focused on Judea and Samaria, basically. Of course.
You mean the West Bank?
Yeah, and making sure there's no Arab terrorist state formed there by the terrorist PLO organization, and eventually even a worse terrorist organization, Hamas, would take over, obviously. So we're definitely that's the battle we're fighting. Self-defense. I wasn't there to fight. I was there to stand up for Israel. I've always been a proud Jew. I have always been an Israel supporter. All right, this is my nation. I was born there. This is the nation I will fight to the death. All right, this is the nation. This is what I want to do in life. I want to represent Israel. I want to change Israel for the better. I want to be a politician. I want to be a Knesset member. This is my goal in life, and that's what I'm going to dedicate my life towards, to becoming a Knesset member and doing the right thing for Israel.
Why did you come out today?
I came out because I want to support Israel, because they were attacking.
Watch your curve.
When they had the right. They were attacked first. They did what they had to. Those people were not humanitarians. All right? the head of the Islamic movement, the northern branch in Israel, was there. He's a provocateur. He's there to cause violence. The ship was armed with knives. Alright, basically this ship was armed with knives, batons, all kinds of things to attack Israeli soldiers with. Okay? There's a Navy blockade on Gaza. They were just doing their job, these soldiers. They're not murderers, they're not bad people, okay? They're just Israeli soldiers trying to defend their country. Okay, Gaza is an area where Hamas controls. It's a terrorist organization. They're just trying to kill Israelis. Okay, we're just trying to stand up for our country. We're not doing anything else.
What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Daniel Pereg.
How do you spell your last name?
P-E-R-E-G.
And are you affiliated with any group?
I'm affiliated with the group of Judaism and Israel. And that's it.
Now, how do you know that ship was armed?
How would I know it? Because I know from the news. I'm an informed person.
What's your name?
So basically, when going there, I knew exactly what the protest was about. It was obviously to say Israel is a criminal, a murderer, they did what was wrong, la 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 la. Basically, this is what I believe from what I heard. Alright? Israel has a naval blockade of Gaza. Gaza is part of Eretz Israel. We had control of that. Right now, it's completely Arab. We don't want to have anything to do with that area. Nevertheless, Gaza has still the ability to affect us by sending rockets and killing our civilians and things like that. So we still need to have some sort of authority over it to make sure that people aren't sending weapons there. So Israel very simply said, if you want to bring aid to Gaza, you need to go through us first. You cannot go through Gaza first because everybody knows for many years Israel has had a naval blockade of Gaza. That's the way it is.
And would Israel need to inspect the shipments going through to Gaza?
For the same reason that we have proof of that they were right. Basically, on this ship there were batons, there were knives, and that's just attacking the soldiers. We don't know what else they had. We don't know. Now we do obviously, but before we didn't know. They could have been bringing rocket-making material, cement to be used to, further injure civilians. Which Hamas has plenty of. Don't worry, they don't need that. But we don't need to make it worse. We don't need to have every rocket attack every day or something. So basically, at this point, what Israel was trying to do is make sure that Israeli citizens were going to be safe. That this material that was going into Gaza wasn't going to be used to hurt Israelis. It wasn't going to be used to kill Israelis. And they can't go through a naval blockade, which they did try to do. And Israel stopped them. And instead of obliging, because they knew that they were doing something that they knew they weren't supposed to be doing, they started attacking Israeli soldiers. They used batons, they used knives. Thankfully, no Israeli soldiers were killed. There are some in critical condition and many injured. But basically, they started attacking Israeli soldiers. And the Israeli soldiers had paintball guns. What were they supposed to do with those kind of things? Fight a war with those? This was no war. This was just trying to stop a ship. That was all they were trying to do. Alright? Look who was on this ship, though. There was Knesset member, Arab Knesset member, Zoabi. She is if you know about the Arab Knesset members, I don't need to tell you. Basically, the Arab Knesset members in Israel from the Arab parties are representatives of the Arab public, and they have their place in the Knesset is not welcome, basically. Just look at where she was. She was on this ship, and her colleagues also...
What do you mean the Arabs are not welcome in the Knesset? The Arabs serve in the Knesset.
Right. No, I'm talking about these Arabs, like Ahmed Tibi. Not Arabs as in...
those who are opposed to a Jewish state of Israel.
Arabs who support Hamas. Arabs who support killing Jews. Arabs who support Hezbollah. These are not Knesset members for Israel. These are Knesset members for Hamas and Hezbollah and Syria that are in the Israeli Knesset. This is people like Zoabi. This is people like the former aide of Yasser Arafat, Ahmed Tibi. This is people like, other people who... Bishara and all of these, Barakesh from Balad. These people, what was it? Bishara, I think he was the one that fled from Israel because he was a spy for Hamas and a spy for Hezbollah during the Lebanon-Israel war in 2008. So, when I say that, and then of course there was Rahed Salah, who's the head of the Islamic Northern Branch in Israel. He has been a provocateur since, we have had so much trouble with him in Israel. And he was there. We have right now with Gaza and the Castile operation. Basically, up until 2005, there was a vibrant Israeli Jewish community in Gaza, in Gush Katif and in other places, but mainly Gush Katif. What happened was then Prime Minister Ariel Sharon said, we're going to disengage, basically expel the Jews of this area because we believe that this is our concession to the Arabs
Towards peace.
to appease them, basically.
Towards making peace,
In his view, yeah, he was going to make peace through that.
to give them self-rule, and they can show they can live side by side alongside Israel.
Basically, that's what his goal was. That wasn't the Arab goal. The Arab goal was, yes, we won, we got Gaza, the Jews are out. Now let's go. Now that this area is Judean reign, let's do it to the rest of the area, and let's make all, pretty much the whole historic Palestine into our own little Arab state. And I don't believe that those protesters were there to support a Palestinian and Israeli state. They were there to support all Arab Palestine with no Jewish state, and that's what their goal is.
You feel like you had some kind of special protection going in?
Well, obviously, I don't think that. I think that this is the thing. My life is, all our lives are in a way a service to God, right? We're here to do for a purpose that God put us on this world. All right? I think that my purpose is doing sort of like what I did there, not always necessarily protesting, but really defending Israel, representing Israel, helping Israel. This is what I want to do in life. And not just from diaspora, obviously. I'm just trying to get out of here as soon as possible, right? I want to be in Israel, changing Israel from the country itself. So definitely, I think that that's my God-given mission on life, and that's what I want to do in life, definitely.
What do you think is the problem that the Muslims had there? Is it and the leftists who were there? Do you think that their problem with you was Israel's behavior? Or do you think it goes beyond that?
I hadn't really done anything to them. I was just there with a flag and with an IDF t-shirt, just representing Israel. And they were just going crazy.
But you were also there openly representing Judaism.
I was. I don't think it took long for them to realize I was wearing a kippah or to see my tzitzit, dangling outside. That was very obvious for them. So that really fired them up, basically. They weren't going to each other tonight. They saw me, and that was where they really got offhand.
What's your spiritual guidance to walk in and make such a bold statement?
So basically, I am about teshuvah. I did not become religious. I was not religious in my own life. I became religious. So I have a strong connection to God. I really chose to be like this. All right. When I wear my tzitzit out, when I wear my kippah, I wear it with pride. I wear it as a true Jew, someone who's really proud of it, who doesn't try to hide it, who's not ashamed of it. All right, and no one should be ashamed of it. I'm really there to represent my country, and that was what I was doing. Really, spiritually, I wasn't going there to pray necessarily, but yes, I prayed mincha before I went, and Arvit after.
How often do you pray?
I'm a religious Jew, so I pray 3 times a day, shachrit, mincha, and Arvit. I pray before I eat and after I eat, all the Jewish things.
Do you put on tefillin?
Of course. Why not?
How often?
Every day that it's necessary. In other words, not on Shabbat, of course, on Yom Tov, but yes, definitely I put on tefillin every day.
What do you suppose they were reacting to besides the Israeli flag you carried?
Basically, the fact that I was Jewish. All right, you had a bunch of Arabs here. They had the Muslim head covering for women, and the Arabs, they had their kafaya, their Arafat style kafayas and all that stuff. They were there as Muslims, they're screaming Allahu Akbar. They were there as so-called Palestinians again, as Arabs, to represent what they believed in, their side. I was there to represent my side, alright? I was alone, but I was there still to represent my side. I was a Jew, I'm an Israeli, and I was there just to do that. And yes, that really fired them up. That was their main reaction, is just,
What do you think their goal for Israel would be? Peaceful coexistence with a Palestinian state?
My goal is not a Palestinian state. My goal is...
No, I'm asking, what do you think? Right. What do you think the protesters' objective? You think they're seeking a Palestinian state to coexist side by side with Israel?
No, because a Palestinian state is the end of Israel. Once you have... look at what happened with Gaza. All right, if you imagine that with the whole Judea and Samaria, where Israel is surrounded, and where the Arabs feel, now we have the upper hand. Israel whenever...
What happened with Gaza? What are you talking about? What happened with Gaza?
Well, Gaza, what happened was the Gush Katif expulsion.
You're talking about when the Israelis, when Jews lived in Gaza. Tell me about that.
I mean, I'm not saying that there were obviously not secular Muslims there, but they were Muslims, and I'm sure that they believe in God, many of them. But their idea of will believe in God, not all of them, but the ones that do believe that our way of believing in God is saying Allahu Akbar and then killing people, or the fact that they were there to support Hamas and suicide bombers and stuff. I mean, the PLO flag, I said, it's a terrorist organization. It's to fly that flag is to support terror. So this the way they were doing it. No, I wasn't exactly intimidated. I knew that I feel that I was on the right side, and I have a very strong connection to God. So.
When they talk about Israel as immoral or unethical, is that your experience of Israel, or what is?
So basically, this is one of our main struggles here. They believe that they're trying to present Israel in the PR campaign as unmoral, unethical, murderer, child killer, la 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 la. This is not what our view is. Our view is that Israel is the moral light onto the nations, that Israel is showing the nations what to do. Other nations would not come on with paintball guns. They would not just stand there and wait for their soldiers to be beaten with batons and potentially murdered before they said, okay, they just threw one of our soldiers overboard where he could have been seriously killed. Now let's start using open fire, using fire where we can actually, accomplish something and stop this. All right? Any other country would say, are you kidding? You try to attack our soldiers? We'll show you how to attack our soldiers. So Israel is definitely the moral compass here, and we've seen that time and time again in Gaza. I mean, spending so much money in the Castile operation, telling people, please leave your homes, we're going to bomb your homes. I mean, no other country does this. And then they want to blame us for civilians that died. Many times it was their own fault.
If there are problems in Gaza, whose fault is it?
Definitely Hamas. Definitely the Gazan people as a whole for electing Hamas to represent them, saying that this is our group, this is what we believe in, that we want to destroy Israel. If you want to destroy Israel, then what are you doing next to us? What are you doing here? We have nothing to do with you. If you want to destroy Israel, then forget about it. You have no hope. Israel is here to stay.